So I've been teasing this, talking about trying to figure this list out for like a week and a half. A deck that's playing both Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier, and Kozilek's Command. These two cards play like super duper well together, especially in the late game, where you can like K-Command for a bunch to dig for a Sephiroth, play a Sephiroth, sack a bunch of spawns, flip a Sephiroth, and like just get really, really ahead. Now, there's been some people who've been playing this combo in Brood Scale, which seems totally fine. I really wanted to find a sick shell for it. So I was trying for a long time to play Glaring Fleshraker. I was trying for a long time to play Skittering Precursor. Precursor being the 3/3, whenever you sack a non-token permanent, you make a spawn. I was trying that for a while. Ended up being just like too many 3-drops without like too much clear direction. It also just became more and more clear that you really wanted to play Marionette Apprentice with K-Command. These two cards also play really well together, and so you, by extension, you want to play Soultrader, which also makes mana for your K-Commands. Like, just everything goes well with K-Command. And so there had been some questions about trying to play this in a Cabal Coffers show, right? And I think a lot of people had this vision of, you make a lot of mana with Cabal Coffers, you cast a big K-Command, and you set up. The problem is, your Sephiroths need to be good on turn 3 and not only in these like late game situations. So it needs to be good on turn 3, not just these late game situations. But having access to that big mana boost is really exciting. So we're playing the other Urborg, Crypt of Agadeem. Add a black for each black creature in your graveyard. In combination with Supplier and Overlord and the Tower to sack Supplier, sometimes you just fill this up really, really quick. Although we're less in on the Crypt plan than we have been in some other Crypt shells. But the idea is that this is going to give you that big mana boost, either like hardcast Overlords or cast K-Commands, and let you go way over the top of interactive decks, which is something that Soultrader strategies can sometimes struggle with. And this allows you to play, this incentivizes you to play a lot of cheap creatures that Sephiroth's really good with. Just curving a Crawler, Supplier, Apprentice, or Bowmaster into Sephiroth is pretty solid value. Also playing a couple copies of Accursed Marauder. I think these like tie the room together kind of well. They're like a solid answer to a Johnny on turn 2. They are a black creature that goes to the graveyard for Crypt of Agadeem. It's 2 triggers on the Sephiroth because one of your creatures is dying, one of your opponent's creatures are dying. They're good to loop with the Nightmares. Pretty nice tool. Nice. Also, one thing too is like K-Command gives you a lot of dig to find your Nightmares, so you don't need to play too many dead copies of this card. Okay, I think I started saying this. So I was trying to build this build for a while, and where I kept getting stuck was the mana, right? So when you really want to play Boggart Trawler, you don't have to, but it's like so important for Crypt of Agadeem. You need to play Eldrazi Temple for your K-Command Splash. Ifnir Deadlands is the easy one, but then I realized that Mudflat Village mostly casts everything in the deck, where it can tap for a black for a creature. It can tap for a black for a creature, and it can tap for just a colorless for a K-Command. So it can pay for the colorless for Chthonian Nightmare. If you have 2 of these as your only lands, it's awkward with Nightmare. You only play 2 Nightmares. You have 1 Cling to Dust it's awkward with. But it ties the mana together for the splash really well. I don't think we have any bat, lizards, rats, or squirrels. I did like a brief glance. Not playing Ravenous Squirrel for the sacrifice synergies. But I think let's go ahead and get in there. Is there a synergy with Mutavault in this deck? Gravecrawler, I guess? Very fun hand with Overlords and Crypt of Agadeem here. And obviously K-Command and Sephiroth. No Nether Traders. Alright, well, sure are a lot of cards that, that... It's a squirrel. Okay, well, it doesn't get returned by Mudflat Village. What is this? Ah, yes. Forgot to include Nether Trader today. Okay, they sprawled on green here. We could play Apprentice to set up for Sephiroth. I'm going to get greedy, and I'm going to try to start filling up my Crypt of Agadeem here. We do brick on getting a creature back, which is kind of unlucky. Oh. New house. Yeah, every time I change rooms... You saw me stream yesterday. In the time from yesterday, I moved into a new house and set up a room. That's exactly what happened. No, just I was back. We're back upstairs. Solar System with the 10 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Right, they reveal a Sowing Mycospawn here. And an Ugin's Labyrinth. They play the Temple, so next turn they may kick the Mycospawn because they've got the Labyrinth. That's obviously a big problemo. Because they're going to go after my Crypt of Agadeem. So now I regret not casting the Sephiroth, I guess. If I cast it this turn, it's weird too, because then they have the 3/3 that just blocks. So I think I'm overlording again, and I don't love it. Alright, so we do find some creatures this time. Seems like I should be grabbing a Warren Soultrader, playing this tapped. Yeah, they got it done. We're in there. Everything's pretty set up. I need to install a new Ethernet port. I've got like a wire just like taped to the ceiling. But besides that, we're in good shape. So they do have it in printable, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a new room. So we moved downstairs for the 24-hour stream, but it was also part of a strategic move that didn't exactly pay off super well. But it was part of a strategic move because the stream room I was in gets really hot in the summer. It's just like for some reason the AC just really poor in there. And so okay, they get Bajuka Bog, which is also pretty good. That room is just the hottest room in the summer by a pretty significant amount, and I wanted to not be sweating and ending every stream early because it's too hot in there. But this room is like right under the AC unit and is like always really cold. So the orange room is still over there in orange. That is the new guest bedroom. Solar System for the 10 months. I'm gonna miss any other subs. Not in the face of the 23. Is it over garage? It's not over the garage, actually. We have no room over the garage. It's like the garage is like protruded. Kicking another Mycospawn, huh? Would Apprentice be too good if it worked the same way as Marionette Master? I mean, Apprentice is, you know, usually when you take a playable modern card and you give it a huge buff, it's a little scary. Although it probably wouldn't be that bad since you'd have to use the counter on the Fabricate. Well, let's top deck a Gravecrawler. Did any get exiled? Yeah, none got exiled. Are playing the full 4 here. Interesting. Spike, is this my only full-time job? I haven't had a W-2 in like 5 or 6 years, yeah. Streaming has been my main source of income. I used to grind a day job in streaming, and eventually I was able to transition to full-time. But this year, I have been working on a couple other projects that maybe one day will make me some money and kind of likely will never make me any money. and maybe will lose me a lot of money. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could exile 2 here to stop them from casting Emrakul. No, wait. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, never mind. They would still be able to cast it, so that's fine. What is Mudflat Village for? It's to help the K-Command splash. Okay, looks like they have a Harrowgast here. You were doing a game. Yeah, still doing it. It just takes a big amount of time. It's going well. Like, we've hit a good stride, and we're just really taking our time to develop it before we release anything. But it is going really well. I think this like last 2 weeks specifically have been quite good, but it's unlikely y'all will know anything about it until next year. All right, they put a Chrysalis into their hand here. Okay, we may untap and win the game. We also get our Overlord online. Should we not untap and win the game? All right, there is a Gravecrawler. We have nothing in the yard for the Nightmare, nor can we sack the Soultrader and let it die in response to a K-Command, so I think we don't do anything there. We draw another copy of Marionette Apprentice. Are y'all producing itself or pitching it to a bigger company to produce? We're trying to produce it ourselves. We have a couple investors we are planning to talk to at some point. But for the most part, we're trying to completely self-produce. we're kind of like in a uniquely good situation where we have several like professional. We have like 3 like professional level artists in our group, and we have a guy who owns a print shop, which is very handy. I think I just cast this Sephiroth first. We have a guy who owns a print shop too, so we're gonna try to get as much produced in house as possible, but it's you know how that goes. All right, so let's not second anything to Sephiroth's ability because I want to sack the servo token for the Gravecrawler. But it doesn't seem like they have anything. What role do I play in game design? Mostly the design part. Spike, why not be a Pro Tour commentator? You'd be good at it. I don't really want to be one. They've never asked me to commentate on the Pro Tour though. It's I don't mean to presume that they'd even be interested in me, but I don't know. It's to me it sounds. I wouldn't hate it, but they would have to pay me a lot to be a Pro Tour commentator, probably. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen any of my commentary, but I tend to, I tend to try to entertain as much as I can, and that tends to lead to not the most professional level commentary. Thanks again, Phoenix, for the 34. Aren't you supposed to sack the Eldrazi to Warren the custom? Oh yeah, I guess that is 2 more damage or 4 more damage. Yeah, I agree. I feel like I do feel like I'm a good commentator, but I don't think I'm the kind of commentator Wizards want. But boy, oh boy, if they paid me enough, I would do it. All right, let's keep this on the draw against Eldrazi. Nice to have 1 game 1 there. They get a Talisman of Impulse. I think with this Crypt of Agadeem, I'd like to just Overlord turn 1 here. We mill 4 creatures. I guess I will take an Apprentice in hand here. But also, like, we build the other half of the combo, and our Crypt is pretty close to making us a good amount of mana, so that's quite nice. Good chance what we're going to do is just try to K-Command into an untap and win. Probably play a Phyrexian Tower next turn. Opponent grabs a Cavern of Souls, not too scared of that card. They might have a K return up here. They also might like Myco spawn for a Bajuka Bog next turn. I'd keep 1 Cleaning over Second Nightmare since it's not dead draw. No, you need the Second Nightmare for the Fulminators we boarded in. You can't cut it. Alright, so they exile the Gravecrawler, they scry and draw a card. The 6 down to 3. What's the trophy in the background? That's the trophy race trophy. They get an Ugin's Labyrinth. Does that mean they have Ugin in their hand? Why else would they get Lab? Maybe they have K return. Oh, or just a Talisman. I guess that makes sense. Or Soulless Jailer. So we actually have our own Soulless Jailers in the sideboard because a lot of times we're just going to be. Hold on. I guess I actually want to make spawns, right? This allows me to kill if I like get lucky and top deck Gravecrawler, and also just lets me cast a bigger K command next turn. Ooh, Sephiroth. Sephiroth. Can we flip Sephiroth? I don't think we can flip it. Yeah, it seems like we should just set up for a big K command into Sephiroth again. Jailer doesn't do anything for the combo? Well, permanents can't enter the graveyard, right? I always get so confused on Jailer every single time I play so much of this card. Permanent cards... Oh, yeah. It doesn't even stop anything. Because it goes through the stack first. Okay. Well, now they'll keep it in for game 3. So there is, unironically, a little bit of value there. I missed the verse series with Ross and Corey. There's void any content like that? Any interest in taking up the banner? Well, I know Mingu does some IRL like versus stuff, but I don't know. We've had Dingo come out. We've done some versus stuff. It's nice on occasion. It's nice on occasion. I don't really. I guess I live near Amaz. Amaz is the nearest Magic streamer to me, but he's not much of a constructed guy. I don't know. I've been saying this a lot. A lot of people. There's been a lot of comments about interested in me doing other projects. I'm super open to new projects next year, but this year I'm really focused on marriage, writing, game design, and exercising as beyond just the normal stream stuff. But I would definitely love to take up some extra projects next year, stream related. Well, okay, they wasted that. That's great news. Sephiroth. Nightmare is interesting. There's also a Gravecrawler to infinite combo with. So let's go ahead and draw Nightmare Gravecrawler. Seems like I can sack one for a card. There's the second time that's resolved. Cool. Nice first match. Always love when you get to show off the idea right away like that. Big Lefty, 34 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Could have sacked spawned a tower to win the game even harder. Well, I mean, sacking the servo is just +1 mana, right? Just trying to maintain creative integrity instead of listening to how other people like to do things. Kind of the same way I do the stream. Okay, we're on the draw. I'm guessing putting back second Sephiroth on the draw here. What deck you playing? You can type !deck to see that answer. Yeah, I can't say too much about the game, but it's me and sorry, I think there's 9 of us total who have been working on it for over a year. We'll talk more about it later once we're ready to do announcements and stuff like that, but we're just not quite there yet. Hot Spring is 34 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Opponent suspends a Profane Tutor, so we're probably up against Coffers. They did not reveal Omori because they hate winning, probably. Might be good to have better tip. I played the Trawler, actually, in case they had another discard spell. I think I'm going to play the Overlord out here. Oh, wait. Okay, it does work for Impending. Okay. Nightmare with the 55. Thank you. Welcome back. All right, so definitely going to pick something up here. I think it's got to be the Soultrader, since Sephiroth is indeed an avatar. Is there a recent PR I was excited to hit at the gym? No recent PRs, honestly, because I was coming off of a long cut, and then I've been in maintenance for a little bit, and I'm kind of starting to ease my way back into bulking finally. So it's been a long time since I hit a PR. Springs the 34, Nightmare at the 55. Thank you all. Welcome back. Getting thought seized. They probably have to take the Nightmare. Maybe not. I guess they could take the Trawler. This deck is too expensive for me to invest in version 1. Please keep working on this one. I'll keep working on it. It's been going pretty good so far today. They do take the Nightmare. They've got 3 cards left in their hand. They've got a Profane Tutor coming off suspend next turn. I just got fitted for my wedding suit too, so I don't know how bulked up I want to be either. Could be Necro. It could be Necro, yeah. The triple basic swamp, it kind of implies less of a traditional Necro shell for whatever that's worth. Sephiroth is bonkers expensive. Well, it's going to be hard for the deck built around Sephiroth to not play it. Yeah, back in the office, although a different room. One that's a lot cooler than the room I was streaming out of in the past. Which means that we don't have to end every summer stream by like 12:30. Okay. We could sack that to fizzle 1 life point, but then we wouldn't get to play the trader, so let's play the trader. Take down the Overlord. They've got a Profane Tutor coming down off suspend. So shoot 28 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, so they are Necro. We do have quad Bowmasters in our deck. One? They went down to 1 life? And they don't have a Soul Spike? Or I guess they just wanted the Sickening Shoal and Soul Spike me. Okay, they only found 1 Soul Spike. They probably do end up going land Shieldred next turn. Back in the room. New room, actually. I mean, although back upstairs. Very close to the old room. For some reason, the deck command isn't a hyperlink. Oh, okay. I mean, it looks like a hyperlink to me. Oh, let me take this turn. Okay, can K command X equals 1? Do they have land Shieldred? If they do, we have a Accursed Marauder. Yikes! Did they accidentally discard other lands? No, there's a Fellmire. Wait, how did Fellmire stay in your hand over basic swamp? I guess maybe they have that too. And that's why you don't draw 14 off your first Necro. Now they go to 3. The humble 3. Alright. Thank you, Mudflat Village, for letting me cast this K command. Thank you, Phyrexian Tower. I think I'm just going to go Gravecrawler, Marauder, replay Gravecrawler here. Not the flashiest turn I've ever had. It's funny to see their fan reflection streaming the sign. Well, the fan's not on. I think it's just the neon flashing. I got the dogs in here now too. Yeah, you can't see it super well, but one of my friends gave me the driving crooner stuff from I Think You Should Leave, and one of my other friends painted this Athena at the same time, and so they've been kind of I've had the driving crooner on Athena for a few weeks. Maybe, dude, Meadow Massacre is crazy here. Wow. How did you keep a Thoughtseize? What? All right, so we get this online, or the Overlord online. They're gonna go down. They have 3 cards in their hand, 3 live. Couldn't I have just 1? Well, I didn't have a Gravecrawler effect for the combo, right? So you tell me how I could have just won. I don't have a what do you call it? The Connive land in play either. Oh, sorry, wrong scene. I drew a Crypt of Agadeem. What's the card on the wall? This is the Shrine to Klothys with 2 Jade Avengers next to each other. Okay, so they're going to go down to 2, then they're going to go up to 5, so they have to block the Overlord. Unless they draw a Sickening Shoal, I guess. Or I guess Soul Spike would let them not have to block. And then they're going to gain a life, and I'm going to lose a life when they block. So my Gravecrawler in play allows me to cast the Gravecrawler from the yard. I feel like I want to grab the Marionette Apprentice. So we can go Apprentice, Gravecrawler, Gravecrawler, sack, Gravecrawler, Gravecrawler. Yeah, Mudflat Village just casts almost everything in the deck, and it helps you splash the K commands. The mana, like it's already been twice that if this was a swamp, we wouldn't have been able to cast a K command, and it's just match 2. Is it really the best colorless producing land? We also have Ifnir Deadlands. There's you could play Cavern of Souls, but you don't have enough overlap of types in my opinion. But yeah, Cavern is kind of your only other option. Wait, they didn't shoal my Overlord? What the hell is happening this game? They could have kept the Shieldred in play. All right, 1 card is in their hand. It's another Shieldred. I guess we're going to lose this one after all. They don't have 5-drop? They don't need a 5-drop. It gives -X/-X. They could have just shrunk it to where the Shieldred survived combat. I do have a lot of black creatures in my yard, so my Crypt of Agadeem is very live here. I could draw a gigantic K command. Although I guess, them having running into Meathook Massacre in round 2 with this deck is kind of crazy. Game 1 Meathook Massacre is like unbelievably unlucky to run into. Alright, let's keep it moving, I guess. Okay. Flare of Malice could be good for dealing with Shieldred, although maybe that's too weak to the discard spells. The builds seem to be pretty swamp heavy, so I don't think we're going to be in on Fulminator. Ashiok just for Profane Tutor doesn't see advisatory. That's not the right word. I think I'm going to go into Flares over to Marauders, because we need to kill Shieldred at instant speed, so I think we're just doing this. Yeah, also, I thought my camera was broken, but I just decided to plug it in, and it worked. I dropped it downstairs, but it's working too. Daniel with the 40 months. Mike is sounding great today. Yeah, it's going to be quieter in here, which is nice. You won't hear Esther cooking in the background every day, which was always a nice Easter egg. B. Rocco, 47 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Why not Llanowar Waste to splash for green sideboard cards? Well, simply put, 4 copies of Llanowar Waste does not allow you to play a single green card in your sideboard. You need like 9 sources to play a green card, and that's not even great. What's also to say that this does not deal you a damage when you tap it for black. Compare that to Ifnir Deadlands. This does deal you damage when you tap it. This one does not. That is like a really significant upside over the other pain lands. And Rocco with the 47. Was I in Vegas? No Vegas for me this year. My Magic travel is very limited because I am wedding Esther in like 3 months. Oh, 4 months. 4 months from tomorrow. Let's keep double Orcish Bowmasters on the play against Necro. Do you consider? Yeah, I did consider Citadel Field of Ruins. It was so many tap lands, but did consider it. I'm pretty interested in getting back a Bowmaster with an Overlord, so let's play Bowmaster this turn. Of course, we'll be streaming the wedding. What? Otherwise, what would be the point of getting married if I couldn't stream it? Wav. Twoo, wav. Alright, so we're going to cast a Supplier this turn on account of the whole Crypt of Agadeem situation. Mill Sephiroth. Can't get it back with Overlord. Could get it back with the Nightmare later, but, you know, helping fuel the Crypt. So next we can go Overlord into Bowmaster, maybe. We might be able to draw a Phyrexian Tower, sack the Supplier, cast Overlord. I guess sacking either of these would let us cast it. How do I feel about these VV Izzy Wizard Affinity piles? We have a build that we've been playing that I like, the one that's playing Temporal Trespass. I don't think not all of them are equally good, but okay. Do they have a 0 mana removal spell? They do. All right. So how much life you want to pay this time? Last time you went to 1. Yeah, Sephiroth being an avatar is kind of awkward. They go down to 2 this time. Imagine no Soul Spike. They Soul Spike me, so I guess they're gonna like Sickening Shoal my creatures, right? And it's not like they want to take 3 damage here. Okay, they Shoal, or is that another Soul Spike? Oh, it's another Soul Spike. So they're at 10. Let me attack with the Supplier first, I guess. Their draws definitely have lined up quite well against mine. It's not too often you have double double Bowmaster against Necro and you're this far behind on turn 3. Definitely grabbing another one here. Crypt of Agadeem online. Yeah, I think Seth being an avatar is on purpose for Overlord, I agree. I think we target our opponent with the first trigger here. If they have another 0 mana removal spell, that'd be so crazy. Alright, they draw 3, so they're gonna gain 3, lose, or gain 6, lose 3, so their life total stays the same as it was. And then we have only a 4/4, strategically they're able to block. And they're at 8 life here. Sephiroth. So, it's pretty tempting for me to go Warren Soultrader, sacrifice the Supplier, sacrifice the Orc, activate Crypt of Agadeem, then go Apprentice, Soultrader. That's probably worse than just going Apprentice into Soultrader here. Attack first, see if they respond with removal, then go for the kill. I don't think I have the kill if they block, so they go down to 6. I go Apprentice here. I mean, I think it's better to be able to attack and then sack this too. Like I can sack a lot of stuff in response. So it can go 1, 2, 3, Sephiroth. Yeah, I think we just attack and then we sack whatever they block. So this puts them down to 7, presumably down to 5. The treasure token puts them down a little bit too. Good matches so far today. Definitely want each trigger just to resolve once at a time. Nice. Going to game 3. But loving the Planisphere deck with Stricken Sporos. I don't think the matchup's that bad. Shadow Spear with counterspells up is, I guess, your plan. Your fast box and start into Urzas are really good against them. Uh, don't keep slow hands is, you know, maybe basic advice, but definitely true. Boros is also just Boros. Like sometimes you just lose the die roll, your hand slow, you lose. You know, this is one. It can be just a matchup that is so draw dependent. Let's keep this. They're on a mold of 6 on the play. Is Balemurk's main purpose here just the mill? Overlord plus Crypt is really good, right? Because it both enables the Crypt early, and then it's a payoff for Crypt later, where it allows you to cast the Crypt for or cast off of the Crypt faster. It also like this is just a much grindier version of ooh. Okay, so pretty punished for not playing the Supplier first. We do definitely need to Bowmaster this turn so we don't get necroed. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So the Overlord is also just like with between Koz-Kommand and Sephiroth and Bowmaster, like we are certainly trying to grind through. We're certainly trying to grind through cards that Soultrader decks usually have a hard time grinding through. So I think they're gonna name a combo piece now that I have a Bowmaster in play, which is okay. Yeah, they name Warren Soultrader, so 3 mana, don't impact the board. A Eldrazi Temple would be an awesome top deck just to like snipe this. Otherwise, we're probably going Supplier, respond to the ETB Flare of Malice. Would I consider splashing green? No. It's so impossible to splash a color. We are already splashing Koz-Kommand. Like splashing in actual colors seems such a freaking nightmare. Like the mana barely works for mono black. All right, 3 cards left in their hand. All right, let's start off by Cling to Dust. I know it gets exiled, but if I draw a colorless land, which I do, then now we're pretty incentivized to wait on the Flare, because we could save the Flare for his Shieldred. And then potentially we'd also be able to get max value out of the Supplier, which is good with the Crypt of Agadeem. So 4 cards in their hand. They pass the turn. They might have a Necro that they just don't want to cast. They know I have this Koz-Kommand, so let's just go to main phase this. If they have a Bowmaster, it's awkward, but...
You know you have both dogs.
I do know I have both dogs, yeah. Sephiroth. I need Esther to record a, Esther!
What?
Would you, like, sing... Oh, sorry, I should have attacked for 2. Would you sing Sephiroth and record it for the stream? And we, as a soundbite I could play? Only if you want to.
From like me.
I don't know if it's from something. I just know Sephiroth is the protagonist of Final Fantasy, and I think it would be really nice to have his heroics honored in song.
Right.
On stream.
I swear, isn't there a song in the...
No.
No.
I don't know anything about this stuff.
I'll figure it out.
Alright, cool. My boyfriend is trying to make a Yawgmoth deck work, but at this point he's getting wiped. What is the best version of Yawg? I feel bad that he has a $1,100 deck and can't use it. So there are some versions of Yawg out there. None of them seem to be performing very well. That is definitely true. Okay, they pitch a Shieldred. None of them seem to be performing well. I don't know how I would be building Yawg at the moment. I haven't been working on it. In fact, I mostly think that playing something like what I'm playing, Soultrader or Brood-Scale or maybe Sam combo, I mostly think one of those is what I'd prefer to play if I wanted to play like a creature-based combo deck. Isn't he evil? I don't think so. Alright, they have a Fatal Push. Do they have a Necro? But maybe I'll work. I have been working on like mono black Yawgmoth for a little bit. That was kind of similar to this deck. I thought about playing like 1 or 2 Yawgmoths in this list for value. But yeah, maybe one day we'll figure out how to build Yawg again. Okay, so we can go double Trawler plus Bowmaster this turn. You need to listen to the song One Winged Angel. Okay, let me. Is this the song? I'll send it to Esther. And then we'll see if she can get a cover. Alright, opponent's taken 4. Would you recommend Spyro over Fable for a Jessica control deck that already runs through Flage? I would play Winter Night Stories if I was going to play a 3-mana card draw spell. You can see the Winter Night Stories control list that we were playing, but that card has been really, really, really good with Flage. You also play DRC as and maybe Kiora, 3-mana Kiora as extra enablers for Winter Night Stories, but I do not recommend Fable of the Mirror Breaker in your modern decks. Alright, let's save the Bowmaster, I think. Oh man, why does this game have to end? We can cast the biggest K command in the world. Or maybe they'll kill some of my stuff. Nice. Alright, so we want to leave up mana to cast like a Sephiroth or a Bowmaster after this. Although I guess I can only leave up 1 mana. I suppose I should leave up the Swamp. Although it shouldn't really matter. This was the Vision. Nice start to today. The update for 8 Titans. I haven't thought about the deck in a little bit, no. So looking for a Sephiroth or a Marionette Apprentice for the win. Found the Apprentice. Best mislethal of all time. Yeah, I mean, let me cast the K command. Listen, they have 0 mana spells in their deck. Alright, going pretty well so far. Let's go to match 3. Took a long time to cook this one up. I definitely needed to take my time here. I think they like really significantly overestimate the number of people grinding modern matches. Like there's just not enough for there to be a friendly league, a modern league, and a gold league. It's not. We don't have 10,000 players every day. We have like maybe 1,500. On the draw against Tron. I don't know if this is a hand that is good on the draw against Tron. Did beat Eldrazi round 1. It's actually the opposite. The Boros and Domain matchup are actually pretty nice. The problem is combo decks like Stormbelcher and Neoform. I disagree with you, but that's okay. Yeah, you might be right. I feel very confident Boros is favored against Yawgmoth. I feel very confident Domain is favored against Yawgmoth too. You can win. You definitely can win. Alright, let's go for a Bowmaster this turn, I guess. But I do also agree Stormbelcher and Neoform are problems for Yawgmoth too, so there's just a lot of problems. And Urza's mine. So maybe another map. Yeah. Scary. Alright, so second Soultrader makes me want to just play 1 here. And then if they wipe my board, I can sack most of my board. It might also be good for me to sack the Supplier now. So I could find a Gravecrawler. Although I guess that wouldn't really... It doesn't change a lot if it's in play versus the yard, right? Could be 1 more damage, maybe. Could be 1 less damage if I don't find it. I do find it. I actually find 2. I might be dealing myself too much damage if I like sack replay this and they wrath me though. Sack 2 and play Overlord. Well, my thinking is that maybe I'll hardcast an Overlord next turn. But also, I'll say this: if my goal is to impending an Overlord, there's basically no reason to do it this turn versus next turn. Unless you're really scared of Karn turning off the clue tokens, which I don't think we need to be. Because like if I want to spend 2 treasures to make it cast an Overlord, I can do that next turn. I can maybe do it next turn after attacking. It's not like the impending is just going to come down. It's not like we have enough mana to like find an apprentice and win. Although we did mill an apprentice, but we're short of like winning the game like that last turn. Okay, so we just want to make treasure tokens here. Should have enough life points to kill them if I sack the Gravecrawler. I think it's just safer to sack the Gravecrawler for a treasure so they don't exile it. Boros isn't good against Yogg. 60 to 65% in Yogg's favor, especially with Culling Ritual. Domain is very good against Yogg, probably 60 to 75 in Domain's favor. It shocks me to hear that that percentage, but maybe you're right. That certainly would not be my impression. Well, Ugin into Karn is bad for me. Could beat the Ugin. I feel like there's almost no chance that it's true that 60-65% in Yogg's favor against Boros. That just seems so wrong. It's like 60-65 matchup is like incredibly lopsided. I think there's a lot of times when people like guesstimate their matchup win percentage, like they're like 60. That is an insanely bad matchup, 60-65%, and like it's just not the case that Yogg has or Boros has an insanely bad matchup against Yawgmoth. I think your impressions comes from a time before the Insight Ballista combo makes the matchup very easy. I mean, I would say that makes the matchup better. Very, very easy just feels like such a big hyperbole. But you also might be right. You know, I have not been playing a lot of Yogg, but I'm shocked to hear this this analysis. I play Boros Modern only while the percentages are incorrect. Yogg is a bad matchup for Boros. Yeah, I mean that could be the case. 60-65% seems unbelievable to me. But yeah, I think maybe if you're playing Culling Ritual and Insight combo, maybe you are like a slight favorite. MTGX 250 matches, 48% for Yogg and Boros. That sounds about right. But I don't know. I'd love to be wrong. So if I draw a Black Source, we can play a Nightmare and then double Stone Rain them next turn, maybe. So it's a slight underdog both matchups. Yeah, I mean that's my impression, but okay, so we do draw a Black Source that can cast the Fulminator next turn. I would hate if they just left up Expedition map. Boros can't win against the Culling Ritual usually. That's not true. Like literally a single Flage like allows them to win. Also, I know Culling Ritual is good against them, but like let's not act like the Yogg deck doesn't also have like 16 cards that die to it. Like if your Cauldrons are dying to it, if your Wall of Roots are dying to it, it can be like really awkward for you. Like you're not the best Culling Ritual deck in the world. Alright, going to game 3 on the draw. What a limited PTQ in Vegas. Let's go! Queued for PTO land. And my modern exposure is basically the stream. Any thoughts on how to start digging in? So, testing with a team is really important. Playing a lot of the format is really important. Recording your match win percentages with your team gives you a much clearer picture of win percentages than any website that you have access to. Try not to get too weird with it. Maybe I'll have a good brew for you. Okay, so we're on the draw. We do have a turn 2 Fulminator Mage, and then we can get it back with Overlord, so let's keep. Another Devourer of Destinies. They did mull to 6. Mudflat Village has no targets. Yeah, but just tap for a black for a creature or a colorless is so good in this deck, weirdly. Yeah, I do agree that Modern is good at the moment. There's not a lot of like ban talk. Gameplay has felt really good as well. I've been having a good time. Mudflat is the best black one land. Yeah, I mean, like, compared to Deadlands, like, Deadlands deals you damage. Mudflat doesn't. It does. If you have two of them, it can be awkward with Nightmare sometimes. They did have Tron. Oh, they have Tron again! Wow. Devastating. Chose wrong, I guess. So if all they have is the Overlord, we're doing okay. And Ugin's going to be game over, probably. Interesting. Huh, so I get super punished for putting the Fulminator in my hand since I've drawn this Nightmare. I guess what I'd like to do here is... cast an Overlord. Do I want to leave up the tower? Because I have this Trawler in the yard. I can use to either cast a Soultrader or cast a Nightmare. So get the Trawler, and then it's pretty painful. Doesn't really seem like sacking the Nightmare to get something into play is right, since they have the Devour of Destiny in their hands. Yeah, this is good. I thought we were gonna win this one, but I guess not. This is, dude. Them having Tron again like immediately after the Fulminator is so gross. Usually you want to target the second land with the Fulminator, but then like there's this weird metagame where they know that, so they play the one that they don't have redundant copies of first. You cast Gravecrawler out of the yard if you control another one but second to tower. I don't think so, but if you can, then I guess it was right because you could play both of them out there. Let me know if that works. Now we need them to be flooded. We know they have a Devourer in their hand, which will probably get after by Nightmare if that's all they have to cast this turn. They did put 2 cards on the bottom with the K-Command, so they could be flooded. Now we know one of the cards is Devour, one of them is a mystery card. Pretty good mystery card. Did it not matter which land you destroyed? I mean, we didn't have the information. So typically how this like dialogue tree goes is your opponents have played 2 Tron lands. You want to target the one they played second because it's more likely that they have multiple copies of the first one than the second one, both in how historically players have played and also historically, and just because there's one extra card available. But because there's that weird metagame dynamic where players know that, it ends up being the case that a lot of time it could be better to do it the other way. It could be better to they choose Nightmare. You go after the one they play second, but in actuality, it's like it's just so hard to say. I thought they had all 3 Tron Priests in a map, which means it didn't matter whichever you hit. Well, no, they had 2 power plants, right? So, like, if I had hit, I guess I think maybe they did have the second mine too. But like, if I hit if that wasn't the case, if I hit the mine, then they would have had double power plant. They had maps, so it didn't matter. No, they had map double power plant mine, and I targeted power plant. So you just guessed wrong, you know. What's the trophy? That's from the trophy race where we got more trophies in a single season than anybody else ever has. It was 76, right? For some reason, I think it's 72 or 76, and not any of the 3 numbers between that. I thought they mapped for second plant. Maybe you're right. Yeah, classic Obama giving Obama medal. We did break a record that I'm pretty sure hasn't been beaten. Surely someone would have told us. Would have been a nice draw last turn. Could still be a good draw. Damn it. The one unknown card. 50 of the 13 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They get a Ballista, which can be a 3/3. They probably spend 1 damage to kill the Apprentice. If this was coming off this turn, I guess they would just devour it. Need a K command off the top, I guess. Oh, you know what? Take this, Walking Ballista. Although I guess we're dead on board to the Karn plus on Talisman. They might miss the line. And then thanks 50 for the 13 months. They do see the line. Tough match. Tough match. Really thought we were going to win with the turn 2 Fulminator Mage into like pretty good follow-up, recurring the Fulminator, but did not. 2-1. Can't cast our spells, so let's take a mulligan. Usually a good reason to take a mulligan. I think I'll be putting back second Soultrader. Playing the tap Trawler turn 1. Maybe you could make this deck black-green Rumble Cauldron. The splash does not work, I think. It's so much easier said than done. You only have one green-blue double land. Yes, please. Panda, 24 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, this deck is really cool. I definitely took my time to cook on this one because it just was such a hard deck to build. The land what's that? the Bloomborough land was really what tied it together. Nice. Love when they use a Fatal Push on a Gravecrawler. This would be an awesome matchup. Matchups have been good today. I've been loving all of the like Grixis and Black White Flicker and Espergorios, and it's just like all these matchups are so fun. It's like just classic modern. Feel fresh. Okay, probably hold up a command this turn. Just blanking the 2 mana is such a big deal. Corrupted Crossroads and Llanowar Waste could be decent for a splash. Wait, what is Corrupted Crossroads? And then again, also then you only have 8 sources too. Like if you're just playing 2 of these cards, you know. Tap, pay 1 life, or add a colorless. Spend this mana only to cast spell with Devoid. So I mean, this card doesn't cast any of your black cards. Could you detail your process for construction, optimization of mana base and brews? I could, and I did. Oh, back when I wrote for Channel Fireball, those articles are still out there. I would recommend checking those out. I did a deep dive on mana selection, although it's a little bit out of date because no Surveil lands, and I did a detailed on how I like to approach brewing in general. How does this deck beat Charbelcher? Be faster than them? Yeah, and that's easier to do against Blue Belcher than it is against Red Belcher. Red Belcher is pretty tough. Soulless Jailer, I guess, doesn't even really help very much against them. Yeah, you could play Starting Town if you wanted to splash. That's true. Forgot about that card. So they cling my Bowmasters in response. Then it does resolve. Let's take a backup Bowmaster. They consider Spymaster Mutavault. Don't have enough swamps for Spymasters. I don't understand the suggestion for Mutavault sincerely. Like, what's the idea behind putting that card in this deck? Yeah, I thought about playing the Saga Parasite package. I think that like the problem is like there's not really any Saga target that helps the combo very much. That was my issue. So let's go exile card from a graveyard, scry draw. My mouse hit my keyboard, hold on. So I scry draw. Oh, dang it. I wish this was a sorcery, like someone in chat confidently said it was yesterday. They were from the good timeline where this card is actually a sorcery. Oh, sorry, I guess I tapped bad. I could have tapped the Deadlands. I could have also untapped, but it took me too many times to cast the K-Command. I'm going to take a damage. I'm going to take a damage here. Oh, yes, please. Mutavault is a zombie for Gravecrawler. So, is that important? We have, like, if you have the combo, you can go for Gravecrawler. If you don't have the combo, you barely ever want to cast Gravecrawler. Alright, so that was a bolt from the hand. And then just like the extra colorless, like only colorless is so tough. Because you're such a black heavy deck that's also playing K-Command. So like these lands that actually tap for black and colorless are such a big deal. But zombie for Gravecrawler is something, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything else. Let's attack for 3 first. So now they can sack the Snapcaster instead of the Frog. But I can combo kill them. So let's do that, I guess. Oh. They targeted the Bowmaster. I guess I can't combo kill them if they double block this, because they didn't double block it. Oh, I guess I also now have Crypt of Agadeem, making me some extra mana. Nice to be able to just like totally like embarrassingly outgrind Grixis control like this. Can be a big problem with these Soultrader decks is that they just fold to the removal heavy decks, but this build is just, I think, very good in these matchups. As far as sideboarding goes, I think some flares to not fall underneath a fast frog can be good. We do have Marauders and K-Command, so it's not like we're super duper weak to one. But I think I want like the first copy. Probably want to cut a Gravecrawler. Let's just play 1. Yeah, thanks, Flame Knight. We painted this room like 3 months ago. Or something like that. Maybe 2. We got carpet in here, got everything set up. Still need to get Ethernet run to the room, but besides that, we're good. K-Command is good enough to just jam in this otherwise unrelated deck. Well, I would say that it's very synergistic in this deck. Like we've been wanting to play Sephiroth with K-Command for this is since Sephiroth has been released. But yes, also K-Command is messed up. This is not the first time we've played K-Command in a mono black deck. We've had several builds, and yeah, K-Command is a super messed up card. But it's also very synergistic in this deck. It digs for the combo. Digs for the combo, triggers your Sephiroth, triggers your Marionette Apprentice, lets you hardcast Overlord. It lets you deal with like creature-based lock pieces. It lets you interact with your opponent. It does everything. So it's good in this deck. It literally does everything. Yeah, I might get a shelf back there. That's what all the streamers do, though. They have a shelf of toys in the background. Are temples just to cheat on K-Command mana? Yeah. If you play Kozilek's command in your deck, you should have Eldrazi Temple. Subscribe for deck building advice. Yeah, I was thinking some plants would be nice. I kind of was thinking when I was setting this up that a plant would be really nice here. I didn't have a spare plant, so I just put the trophy there. Might flip the Tamiyo this turn. This Nile Spellbomb is kind of awkward. This makes 4 mana. Yeah, this. I think I just can't play through Flip Tamiyo's spell. Let's go to game 3. Let's just keep going. If there's another trophy race without me in it, who would I bet to take number 1? If Ginger's in there, he would win, even if I was in it these days. When will we add K-Command to Mono Blue Affinity? I'm pretty sure we've played Mono Blue K-Command. I guess we usually play more Eldrazi elements. Do you think VV would be good in Song of Creation combo? To me, VV seems worse. Like if I wanted to play a 3-mana legend in Song of Creation, I think I would almost always prefer to play 6. The card 6. VV being a win condition is interesting, but the thing also with Song of Creation combo is you can't really cast 20 spells. You just die a lot of the time. So like it can't be your only win con. Like you still need endurances. Is Omni Woodlands still viable in Modern? It's probably fine. Omni Woodlands is a bit weird where there was a time where it felt like it was just... I guess I should have attacked first. There's a time where it was like unbeatable. Or like Boros couldn't beat it, and then they started to learn how to beat it, and then it no longer was unbeatable. Which I guess is kind of obvious. Temple's interesting. I think at this turn I want to go cast Soultrader into cast Bowmaster. So I don't know. It's probably fine. Yeah, it is. This is very for you, 4 dogs. I've been working on this one a while. Recast Gravecrawler. I feel like when you recast Gravecrawler in this spot, you're basically just paying a life for no reason. Right? Like it's not like a 2-1 is better than a 1-1 here because they have a 1-1. There's 6 cards in their hand. Better against Shieldred's Edict. Good read, chat. Good read. And they exile my Gravecrawler. I think I'm okay with them doing that, although less okay now. I'm going to Scrydraw exile the Tamiyo. We just really don't want them to untap and Flame of Anor me, although they probably would have Flame of Anor, although it's possible they just wanted to clear the Bowmaster first, right? Well, we could have won this turn if we made spawns. Hard to know that there's a Gravecrawler on top. But I think we'll just keep both of these. And I'll play around Snapcaster Shieldred's Edict. I've learned my lesson. Tamiyo into Flame. Land Tamiyo Flame as 3 of their 4 cards. Tough. 3 cards in their hand up to the Fatal Push, a Apprentice Marionette. Maybe she's done counters to attack. It's just they just have too much spot removal to not make spawns. Like here they've minused. I could probably kill the Tommy with my servos. So this does let me cast a Gravecrawler from the yard. These clue tokens are going to get me. Soulless Jailer is good against Storm mostly. You can also come in against Gorios. Basically just those 2 decks. 2 frogs, huh? Nightmare would be good. We could loop Marauder, kill both frogs. So we could keep this in play so that we maybe want to attack. Yeah, I think I can attack for 2. We're going to sack the Deadlands, but I think we can attack with the Gravecrawler first. Got in there. They're down to 8. Second Deadlands activation this stream. They decide not to discard even 1 card to the frog, which I guess is probably fine. I guess it's maybe bad because that means their hand is good. Alright, I mean, no attacks has got to be good news for me. Best draw, another Ifnir Deadlands. Seems kind of likely they don't have a counterspell too, though, the way that they tapped out for Frog, though. I cast Sephiroth. Mudflat as land that can tap for colorless. Yeah, I mean, it taps for black and colorless, and even taps for black painlessly, which is a super duper big deal. Alright, Sephiroth into Overlord. Pretty good. I'll feel really bad if Esther records this Sephiroth sample for us, and then I never play another Sephiroth deck again. We'll play another Sephiroth deck. Alright, so they snap Flame of Anor, my Sephiroth. Don't like that. Any routes worth it? You know, I played this shell with the 4-mana sorcery that's like flashback, make a rat for each creature in your graveyard, and you all hated it. You hated that deck. And I love that deck. I wish you would let me play it again. If you had to guess, which Final Fantasy do you think Sephiroth is from? I just pick a number. That's how Final Fantasy works. Whichever Final Fantasy, it predated DeviantArt, it seems. Maybe that's all of them. It says on the card. FF17. Let's go. Or it's the 7. I don't know. I saw an X there. Ooh, a Bowmaster. So I guess we want to hold that up because I do not think they have the card Counterspell in their hand. And they've got this clue token that now is pretty awkward for them, and the Cling to Dust. Be a fun game to win. I'm gonna upkeep just so there's a smaller window for Flame of Anor. They do keep a card on top. I don't think they're that likely to have a counterspell. If they do, they're not likely to have another counterspell. If they had Flame of Anor, they would have responded to the Bowmaster cast. Maybe they would clue into it, and maybe they're just thinking a little too long. Okay. All right. A great game. So Bowmaster down, 4 cards in their hand. They did keep a card on top. It could have been the Fatal Push. Might be about time to start attacking with the team here. Only watching YouTube and give us some support. Well, thank you so much, Caesar. I feel supported. So they discard a Snapcaster Mage. So they're saying their hand's pretty stacked. They might... Are they going to cling to dust this Gravecrawler, though? Yeah, see, I don't know why they're just cling to dusting Gravecrawler when they instead of, like, snap clinging and doing something else with their mana if they're going to discard this. But they go back up to 5, so I guess now they have 1 mana up. Dude, if they annul me, that'd be pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I've never seen any of the... So, okay, so the movies are what? Is it 28 days? And is it just 28 days and 28 years? I haven't seen either of them. But I know that there's some kind of zombie movies that are connected. I've not been watching a lot of new movies lately. Because it's days, weeks, years. Fun. No months. It's my Keen Leaf for Getting Worse one. I haven't seen any of them. I'm too busy building Sephiroth decks. 28 seconds was quite short. Is it me for not joining Sephiroths? We had one like 2 turns ago. It drew me this Overlord. Okay, Flame to just deal 5. After they discarded Snapcaster Mage. They have another Nihil Spellbomb. That's a good draw. Why not Boggart second main decks on the graveyard? Well, would you rather do that than cast an Overlord? Because to me, I would much rather cast Overlord. So they're dead if they don't block the Orc army. Yeah, I'm down to watch it. Although me and us, we've just been video gaming in our free time. Not a lot of watching stuff lately. We finished Expedition 33, and now Esther's starting Cyberpunk for the first time. Okay, opponents at 1. I got a Bowmaster in play. All these cantrip cards not doing a lot. This is coming down sooner rather than later. Got 5 lethal creatures in play. Clue has been used for several turns. They didn't use all their mana. Well, I feel like every turn they could have used Clue, I had a Bowmaster in play, right? I do agree. Them discarding Snapcaster is so wild to me. Ever played Left 4 Dead? I think I played Left 4 Dead like once or twice. Years and years ago. We beat Clean game 3. Was it not worth it to shoot a frog instead of them? You get double damage. I'm pretty sure you shoot them here. Okay, opponent's down to up to 4 life, 2 cards in hand. Dead on board. They have a removal spell at 1. This has been a great game. This has been a game very, very back and forth from I can't lose to I can't win to I can like that happened like 2 or 3 times. Alright, that is gonna make it very difficult. They have 1 card in their hand and they need to deal with this and a creature in play. And it's not too easy to do that with 1 card. Not too easy. They would need like fire magic right now. But if they had fire magic, they would have played it on their turn and then hit me, right? Yeah, it took me a long time to figure out Koz-Kommand. At the very least, that a version that just wasn't like brood scale, especially because we played some other brood scale decks lately. This build has really spoken to me so far. Well, I attack. So they have Snapcaster, I guess. Snapcaster doesn't do it. I guess, okay, Snapcaster Cling to Dust, gain 3. Block. No, they're still dead. Wait, no they're not. Block. Take 3, take 2. Yeah, they go to 1. The good game continues. The problem is, like, they can't top deck a sweeper to kill me because I have the Apprentice in play. So I don't know what the plan is. I guess they do get to kill the Bowmaster. They get to block the Bowmaster, kill the Bowmaster, which means their Spellbomb and their Clue token unlock. So it's going to be possible for them to get more of the ball rolling here, as it were. Now, it was not correct for them to block the Supplier, because now I could mill over another Gravecrawler. I guess I don't have a zombie in play. So maybe it's fine. But they go to 1. We do mill a Gravecrawler, but yeah, still no zombie in play. The 6 down to 1. They draw a card again. I guess they also have the Spellbomb for my Gravecrawler. A good block on the Supplier, I take it back. Gonna still be very difficult for them to pull out of here. Yeah, they need to draw like removal spell for the Apprentice into a sweeper. Or maybe even, like, actually a Bowmaster does, right? So kill this, Bowmaster ping, block, block, block. Okay. So they fly the frog. Now they would need something else in addition to removal spell Bowmaster. I'm down to 13. Flip a Tomio and you have no power. Ooh, yeah, flipping a Tomio would work. Not anymore because now they've drawn too many cards. I guess they drew too many cards after the frog hit. Didn't find it. That was a great game. I feel like the last 2 weeks gameplay has just been so nice. All right, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. We're on the draw here. I don't know. Maybe I should have hand hit earlier. Again, usually 1 minute. 1 minute queue time. I just throw up the hand hider for the mulligan. Okay, the mulligan has happened, so we take it down. Lush Portico, Scalding Tarn of the Yard. So this is a Bring to Light Scape Shift deck, I guess. Oh, wow. Thanks, Andrew. They don't seem to have a stop on their first main phase. Well, didn't play around Renin 6 by... I guess they couldn't have held up the Cling anyways. The second tower is not a good draw. So let's pick up this Stitcher Supplier. This way I can go cast it off the village next turn, sack it to the tower, mill 6, put the Supplier back in the graveyard, and then I can activate the Crypt of Agadeem. I am going to need to mill some black creatures. We'll just see how much mana we have, but we can get the Crypt online pretty well. Cool game. The games have been so good this league. So we play the tower first, so they can't respond to the trigger by stopping us from doing this. All right, so we milled 1 creature there, so we're going to at least have +1 mana net on the Crypt. Okay, now we milled 2 more, so this makes 6 mana. What are we doing with 6 mana? Seems like I'm going to cast Cling to Dust first. Yeah, I mean, if my opponent kills the Soultrader, then it does fuel the Crypt and fuels the Cling to Dust. Not the end of the world. And we don't have much else. Leave up a mana to Cling, target land by Renin 6. I don't think we really have that luxury, but it would be nice if we did. They're going to bolt the Gravecrawler? Yeah, surely you'd want to bolt the Soultrader, right? Oh, I want to bolt the Soultrader, and don't call me Shirley. Excuse me. Okay, so they get to kill the Soultrader. We still have 6 cards in the yard. We can cast a gigantic K command next turn, sack a Gravecrawler, Crypt of Agadeem. Maybe leave a black floating or something. They do not have a stop in their first main phase. I'm guessing it's Omnath. I think they're Bring to Light Scape Shift because they have so many extra cards in their deck. They do minus in a Gravecrawler, getting us back up to 7 here. They play a Meticulous Archive. They graveyard a Force of Negation. And then they flage my Gravecrawler. We get to Trawler this pretty comfy. We draw a Marionette Apprentice. So let's go to make 8 black mana. And I think instead of clinging this turn, I'm just gonna cast my entire hand. And if they ping the Trawler, it just fuels the Crypt even more. So let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 non-creature cards in my graveyard. They plus the red and 6. Maybe they have a Supreme Verdict. Dude, gameplay's been so good. It's really important to appreciate the good games while you got them. And boy, have they been good today. So they Prismatic Ending my Apprentice, and they pass the turn to me. I draw a copy of Orcish Bowmaster. Let's just go to combat first. I think I send like this. Just presume that we can Bowmaster the last point on the red and 6. Assuming we even want to. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I guess a Trawler. Alright, so we get to go Gravecrawler Machine Gun here. This deck has been way cooler than I thought it would be. Yeah, it's been pretty nice. The Sephiroth really tied the room together. And I'll say that this deck is a really good example of like why like my process is like important to do. Because it's like I wouldn't be here with this like Crypt of Agadeem K-Command tech if we hadn't played like multiple K-Command rock decks. If we hadn't spent that month to work on Crypt of Agadeem, you know. It's like this is why, or this is what my brewing process is. It's not trying to break it every single day. It's trying to maximize ideas so that when metagames change and new cards get printed, we have these ideas worked on. We understand the packages. We understand the limits. And so when a card like Sephiroth gets printed, we can put this deck together because you just have to play those other packages first. So we do get a ping here. Might lose this game though. Yeah, I ended up not playing any Trespassers. They're just like a little bit worse without the Fatal Pushes, or a lot worse. We also have a lot of 3-drops. But it might have been good to play them. So I guess now we care less about a Supreme Verdict. So they're going to leave the Omnath in play. Come on, K-Command off the top! Sephiroth. Alright, so we have to exile some creatures here. I guess I'm going to go Trawler, one of the 2 suppliers, one of the other supplier, and the Bowmaster? Okay, nice. No, this is a real avatar. The Daybreak Games was really cool, and they did a few streamer content creator events last year. I think it was last year, and might have been this year. And one of the things they did was they had events that creators were able to make their own avatar, and that's what this is. All right, let's. I think we hold up the Bowmaster here. But not a bad turn. Get this online, maybe. Yeah, it is really cool. Now, we might just die to Escape Shift. I guess Escape Shift could only deal me 18 here. Oh, Omnath will deal 4. Cool. But no, I did win this. I I had the top 32 at the event to get one of these, and I said I was not gonna I was not gonna participate, or I was not gonna use it unless I won it, and I did win it. Okay, well, this is a lot of damage, and this taps for 10. Got a lot of great top decks, although we can't gigantic K command anymore. Alright, so 10 mana. Let's get back to clinging, I guess. Overlord's pretty hard to get back. Let's exile that. Bowmasters. Second Sephiroth. Apprentice. The Tower. I draw an Accursed Marauder. Which I guess is okay, because this lets me go... Make a servo. Oh, it's non-token. Does let me get my Gravecrawlers back, so I think still the right play. Excellent creatures. I mean, it's either exile creatures and do nothing this turn, or don't cast Cling to Dust, or it's exile. It's either exile creatures or do nothing this turn. Those are your options. And I chose to try to push the game forward a little bit here. Like all the mana in the world won't do anything for you unless you start casting some spells. You can attack the Marauder. The thing is, I needed the zombie to cast the Gravecrawlers. Yeah, new stream room. I'm not playing any Agadeem's Awakening. It'll be pretty good this game. We have played them in the shell in the past. All the extra damage in your Soultrader deck kind of sucks sometimes. So they could crack the fetch now for 4 extra mana, or they could crack it on my turn for 4 extra life. Sadly, don't have a Deadlands here. We would be able to maybe kill the Omnath. I do think I need to draw something to win this game, so let's cling. That's something. I'm 1 mana short of exiling the Omnath. Do you think I want to main phase this and just try to like put spawns in play for like a Sephiroth and or Marionette Apprentice here? Needed you earlier, Deadlands, but better late than never. Yeah, as soon as we no longer have infinite Agadeem's Awakening mana, we draw it. It's okay. Still good. So they go back up to 6, probably up to 10 next turn, maybe 13 if they have a fetch land. They're thinking on their Surveil. It would be really good to know this turn, are they playing Scapeshift in their deck or are they not? They don't necessarily seem to have an above average amount of mountains, but because they're playing 76 cards, they don't necessarily need that many mountains. Been following Wimby's journey into China. I saw that he was training with Shell and Monks, but it also seems like he wants privacy, you know? I feel like I'm just interested in giving him that privacy. Oh, they stacked their triggers wrong. So now I get to exile the Flash here. Good draw. 4 cards in their hand. They're also on 14 minutes. Still game 1. Surprised that no Spy Masters. But our swamp count's really low. We have like 2 swamps in the deck. Your turn. Opponent's like, dang, I've endinged, I've double wrathed, I've double red and 6, I've double obnathed, I've flaged twice, I've discharged, I've brain surged. And I'm still out here fighting. Treasure Vault? It's kind of interesting, but I don't think it's probably where we want to be. Starting to think that they don't have Scape Shift in their deck, which is... That'd be nice. If we could just grind them out. We'll see. Maybe I'll die to Scape Shift right now. Sack a Gravecrawler there, you would have to blow a Trawler. Well, if I sack a Gravecrawler... I can't sack a Gravecrawler to have all three in play, right? This isn't a Scape Shift deck. Plays the usual card. Well, they have 76 cards in their main deck, so... That's why I'm thinking Scape Shift. Teferi Hero Dominaria kind of rules out Scape Shift, though, because that means this is a 5-drop that they're playing, and how could they have this? It's not a Bring to Light target. How could they play this over Bring to Light? Alright, let's go to combat. We are maybe going to get Solituded. It's mana neutral since you either spend 1 mana on its own recast or Overlord is something better. Well, it's mana neutral, but so is just tapping the tower. So I don't think it accomplishes anything. But I may be misunderstanding something. As I often am. Well, let's go for the combo. We've been snared. Seems like I don't want to play the Soultrader into another Wrath, so let's just cast this Gravecrawler for now. This mana neutral worse gives the ability to draw a better use for the 1 mana. I see. Wait, they're on their main phase here. They made it to the main phase. They added the main phase 1 stop 13 minutes or more than that into this game. That's true, yeah. Mono black versus 4-color no black. It's pretty fun. Draw another Soultrader. 3 black creatures in the graveyard. If we attack with Overlord, we might get the Crypt way back up there. Let's send everything at them. So there's another Apprentice. Or I guess that's the same Apprentice that died. I mean, they might be trying to deck me. I don't know. All right, I have two Soultraders, so I think I want to lead on 1 here, since it matters more that this dies instead of this, obviously. All right. Cast. They know I have the Apprentice though, but maybe they'll try to kill this in response. No, they have another Spell Snare. So we use the filter play, I guess. I think we're going to get Wrath Disguise this next turn. All 4 Gravecrawlers in play to outgrind our opponents. Modern's not too bad right now. That's the sign of a fun Modern format. 4 Gravecrawlers in play. Grinding them out. Yeah, I know. I really wish there was something for this, but it is still like the best fixer that you can play, I think. Put it down to 10 minutes on the clock. Oh, sorry. Brain fart. Maybe about Takenuma. I feel like I like the second basic swamp more than I like the first Takenuma, and I don't think I would play Takenuma over any of the other utility lands. Probably not casting that one this game. Still have a few Sephiroths and stuff left in the deck, too. So let's sack the Gravecrawlers so that my Crypt taps for more mana, and then obviously they're just kind of plus 1 mana to do this. So 9 mana in the pool. We have escaped Cling to Dust 5 times so far this game. Let's make it 6. Let's make it 7. I know we're going to lose some Gravecrawlers here. We're going to go down to 1 Gravecrawler. I don't think I can afford to play the Supplier is the thing. 1 Gravecrawler should be fine. I want the Apprentice still in the yard so I could rebuy it if I draw something like a Nightmare. Actually, although I guess I could have checked if I had Nightmare left in the deck even. But we draw Sephiroth, so we'll see if our opponent has another piece of interaction here. Sephiroth. Hear me out, Deep Cavern Bats. Well, I'm not the most interested in playing a card because it can be returned by this, but that card is just not very good. Also, it doesn't. You can't sack at the tower in response. It isn't templated that way. It's not templated like a Tidal Scholar. All right, easy freaking game. They forgot to put the best color in their deck. Easy game. All right, let's play 2 Flares over 2 Marauders and click the submit button. That was game 1. That was game 1. I found a tack on my desk. I'm gonna put it in the wall somewhere. Opponent's deck seems bad against creature decks. Yeah, I mean Ashiok could be fine, but the self-bill's interesting. I'm going to pass, I think. I don't think they're playing Bring to Light or Escape Shift. I was pretty excited to have the Ashioks in against that, though. Well, let's try this one. Opponent's on a mull to 6. We're on the draw. They also have 9 minutes to win game 2 and 3. That seems less than likely. Ashioks for Titan, mostly. Like it always is, I guess. Card on top. Definitely want to play this first since we have the Overlord. Some more mills to find something good. There's an Apprentice. Nightmare's interesting. Definitely want to cast the Overlord. The Impending just pretty real. It'd be nice to find a Boggart Trawler. You can Impending off of the black mana. I guess we play another one. Have the chance to find a land. Oh, Boggart Trawler specifically. Should we miss on? Dang it. Alright, we'll take these down. Maybe I should have held up Bowmaster. They don't minus, they plus. thought for a second they could sign both triggers. Yeah, let's go ahead and Bowmaster. This means that if they have minus on the Bowmaster, they lose their red and 6, which... And I have a Nightmare to bring back the Bowmaster, potentially, you know. I love how our entire game played as K-Command a pile of crap. I feel like our card quality is pretty high. Maybe I'm wrong. This game looks pretty bad, I agree. We just outgrinded 4-color Omnath. It wasn't just the K... We didn't draw K-Command until, like, turn 13. So we're gonna Wrath, kill these. Crypt of Agadeem would be nice. I haven't milled any yet, I think. Yeah. Agadeem! Is there anything that I really want to mill? Oh my gosh, I realized a second. I need to cast it off the village instead. So I guess we'll play this. Not the biggest deal. We might be able to Nightmare back an Overlord. Opponent's playing pretty fast. They might be able to win both games. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Although we're in this room for the first time. This is the other room. We switched the stream room and the guest bedroom. It's a lot cooler in here. It's so hot in the stream room. Alright, 4 cards in their hand. Crypt of Agadeem, best draw. Draw an Orcish Bowmaster. Mill 3 non-Crypt of Agadeems. Or I'm playing Village over Llanowar Waste. Can't use the ability. This does not deal a damage. Llanowar Waste does deal damage. I think do people not know that this doesn't deal you damage? That might be what the disconnect is here. Again, Crypt of Agadeem is just like how we possibly get back in this. Guess we'll play as Sephiroth. Do they have Solitude in the deck? Wow, we went that entire match without seeing a Solitude, so I didn't think they had one. Yeah, it seems very tough for them to win this game and the next one in 4 minutes. I'll concede if I'm 0% like I usually like to. But I do think I can still draw a Crypt of Agadeem next turn and potentially win with double Nightmare in my hand. If we had Llanowar Waste, we could collect the company. So this is like the 4th time someone said, if we play Llanowar Wastes, we can play a green spell in our deck. To play green spells in your deck, you need to have more than 4 sources. Ideally, you need to have like 10 sources, you know. Cleansing Wildfire brought in is interesting. So, get back to me on that problem, I guess. I guess we start off with an attack here. Soultrader is technically a green source. I guess. I don't know if you want to rely on it like that, but you could, I guess. I think I just play out 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. Village is definitely worse when you keep forgetting how to tap for it. Or how to tap for Nightmare. There's a few City of Brass and Temper Calls. Yeah, but this just doesn't deal you damage. It's so nice. Yeah, I've been trying to get back up into this room for like 4 months, but it just took so long. Can probably pack it in now. Yeah, I'm going to give us the 0%. We might get some more info, but, you know, I want to give them an honest chance to win Game 3. Going to be tough in 3 minutes. I could do it. Maybe they can too. How about Graven Cairn? So I mean, filter lands just don't cast your 1-drops on turn 1. It's really seemed like every suggestion is just so much worse than the sick tech that I found. You know what I mean? This is my current impression. I get so salty if someone plays a slow deck to give him on his chance to get a guy. Well, I will say this: I've loved this match. I love to reward people too for playing matches that I'm having a great time in. If I was to play a Modern PT after this league, what would I play? Well, that would be kind of like a nightmare where I have a test I didn't study for. Do I Flare of Malice to protect Gravecrawler? I think yes, because I have the Soultrader. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that would kind of be like a nightmare where I'm in my underwear and I there's a huge test I didn't study for. Like, the process of preparing for a PT is like a mini month-long process that you work with for hours and hours with your friends or your team, and you have like thousands of matches of like metagame percentage, and there's a lot of theory crafting. Plays exclusive Modern today. It's just the process of preparing for a Pro Tour is very different from the process of brewing and streaming. Yeah, I think we want to go for Gravecrawler or Soultrader into Gravecrawler here. This way, next turn we can maybe sack the Gravecrawler for a token and then hardcast this, or just draw a land if they kill this now. They pitch Solitude. It's fine. So I think it's interesting. So yeah, based on the information I have, I would right now, if there's a Modern Pro Tour and if I was qualified, I would spend I would learn Amulet Titan and play it probably. I think it's very good against the aggro decks that define the metagame. It's pretty good against the combo decks too. I would just spend the time to master Amulet Titan. Would be my plan. All right, there's an Omnath. Sephiroth, I guess we play that. Spygo's Villain. It's a freaking Pro Tour. I'm gonna try to. I play the deck I think is the best deck. Usually, when I've played Pro Tours, I've tried to win. So now, if they're holding a Brain Surge, we really get them, or at least we make them blank the mana. Kind of feels like that's what they have. Didn't you play Yogg? I mean, that's what my Channel Fireball team determined was the best deck. And I was part of it. But I had a pretty good team. I think I want to get another Bowmaster down there. Stings to not get to hardcast one of these, but this seems kind of like a nice insurance plan. I think only 3 of us stayed tuned. I was one of them. No. So not all of us played Yogg too. Like, Kai top 8'd, he was playing the Rhinos. We were split on Rhinos and Yogg. Most of us played Yogg, but also Seth played Scam. Wrath X equals 2. 2 cards left in their hand. 20 seconds on the clock. Again, I like to concede if I'm 0%. I feel like I have a very good chance to still win this game. I mean, Ashiok is pretty good here, but I think my opponent's going to time out. I don't think they're going to convince me to concede here. Would have loved this Crypt of Agadeem, though. Bunbury talked me out of Scales. There's a few other decks I was considering that would have been cool. I do wish I had played something else. Okay, we 4-1'd our first league. Let's run it back. That was sick. Lost to Tron in a game where I really thought we were going to win. Yeah, I've been trying to.